You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not, and all is certainly not lost.
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the... I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But Lady Yai can...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand... I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish don't...
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and... Anyway, you should join, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei. We, the disciples of Make...
Sure! After all, everyone seems... Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out if...
Skyward!
Just what will we come across?
Scatter! Sky!
You think that's Lady Yai? Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right? It was probably not.
Keep away. I gave up the art of the sword.
As you can see, Lady Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him.
Lady Yai, it must be this is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any...
But... then did...
Yes. This is unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under. He suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should...
your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure...
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Even those, only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly much...
Poor sensei.
I'm sorry, Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that all? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai, why are there two? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kind. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the...
But what if one day I put everything I had into trying to become the best? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this...
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my
Nanako's far from the only one.
Goodness.
You see? Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you... So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate. But as your sensei, I shall... This is my promise. And I humbly ask Ansai, my senior.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo and... Well... Don't just stand...
So even though his ambition was taken...
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, my intuition was the wind that blows from afar carries fresh life. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child.
She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so We can come back to it another time.
Yeah!
Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like, Ayaka, how come this
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Ooh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Thank you. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you... Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the field, but I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your... You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd place my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori tea.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details.
Oh, Paimon gets it.
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret.
In any case, we can talk freely here.
I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree. The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the vision, after all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree...
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also...
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond me.
Ooh, Paimon has a...
Oh? What would you like?
Have you got a plan yet to fight?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity.
So...
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the... For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit...
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there...
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinct. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit...
Darn! So they found...
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Mas... Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. By no means do we intend to place the burden of... When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There,